My dear Roger Federer, how are you? I miss you, Raj. I miss you, Reggie. Reggie! No, I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to lighten the mood a little bit. It sucks that you're gone from Wimbledon, and it's not like it's um it's not like it's something where it's overly terribly traumatic. It's a little traumatic, but not overly terribly traumatic. But I mean, just Wimbledon is just. Who could ever say Wimbledon would be quite flat without you there? Like I just haven't even turned on anything. I mean, today I just watched your interview for the first time after like the exit or whatever. I mean, I couldn't even bring myself to watch that, and I just haven't paid attention to anything except what I just, of course, saw in my Facebook. But oh, Roger, I'm not disappointed in you. It's just like I said, it's just like Roger and Wimbledon go together. Like I don't know, like um, cookies and cream, like ice and tea, like uh, whatever else. Let me see. I can't even think. But all of the things that normally go together, just normal stuff. So anyway, I'm glad to see that you handled it pretty well. I'm sure, you didn't feel too great about the exit and all, but, it is what it is. And I think, you know, um, we had a really good fan of yours who wrote a couple of things. I think he writes a couple of things that are very interesting. And he was saying that you were a bit timid in some of the match. I have to say, we go way back, Roger, now, as long as I've been making these videos. I have to say that I believe that, I didn't see the match, of course, but I have to say that I absolutely believe it. Again, it's interesting, I think, I think that is a part of your personality. Like, you're not a type of person who likes to, like, really fight for your points. You will play for your points, but you won't fight for your points. And it took me a long time to come up with that, but today I just kind of just hit me. That's what it is. Like, Roger plays for his points. He does not fight for his points. Djokovic will kind of fight for his points, Djokovic doesn't mind. And it's not to say that one is better than the other, but when you talk about what needs to be done in certain situations, you end up with the short end of the stick a lot of times, because I think some of your intensity wanes. So, I think it's good to probably look at that. Like, where in your personality, where in your belief system do you not feel it's okay for you to take yourself first and take certain points? And also, the second question would be is, again, like, why do you feel it's such a bad thing to fight for your points, to fight to win? It's not that you're not a tough competitor. This is a totally different thing that I'm saying. It's an absolutely totally different thing I'm saying. Because like I've said in other videos, I've seen you stand up for yourself. You're actually a very direct speaker, and you talk about things. For example, actually, the most recent example I thought that was so kick-ass of you, Roger. High five on that. What I'm about to say is that you told the media off, like, you sat here and you hyped up, you were so busy, like, hyping up me and Rafa, and, like, totally, like, 5 whole games away, and neither one of us are even in the tournament anymore. So maybe you guys shouldn't, maybe that sends a message to you. That was like the coup de grace. maybe that sends a message to you, okay? That you maybe shouldn't do that much anymore. But I love that maybe that sends a message to you guys. So it was very direct, very bold, just like straight up middle finger in a very nice way, and a deserving one. You know, 'cause they've been doing this to you guys for, you know, a number of years, and it really hasn't been fair to either one of you guys. It has not been fair. So anyway, you know, so I want to get back to saying that what I'm saying about you, the difference between not, you know, fighting for your points but playing for your points, that's a personality choice. That's just something that I think is just a part of your personality. It is totally mutually exclusive of saying that you are like a pushover, you know, because you're not. Like I said, I just gave the example. Like you actually are very direct, and you will tell people like it is. You will, and I really admire that about you. So, and I champion that in you as well. And I love that you told the media that. For real, they really freaking deserve that kick in the ass. Yeah, so I think it's just interesting. Like I had said in a video last year, I think like sometime in 2012, I had talked about you being at Wimbledon some years back. Maybe it's a good maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago now. I think it's a good 5 years ago. Maybe it was to Wimbledon 2008, and you were playing, I believe, like I said in my other video, Ivo Karlovic. And there was a point when you two were at the net, and you guys were like hitting the ball back like a ping pong. And it got so intense that all of a sudden you just like stopped playing, and you were like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. Like, we're fighting and it's ridiculous. And you just kind of let the point go from my memory. And I noticed that about you. It's like, you know, he is judging this as, you know, tennis shouldn't be something, you know, and this is not to say that you're doing something wrong, but it's a question of what's effective, what's going to get you to the next level, and what's going to cost to get you to the next level, and what you're willing to do, and how you're judging what should be done and what shouldn't be done. But I saw you judge that situation with Karlovic and just stop playing, you know, and for me that was very interesting. It's like, oh, he doesn't. You know, Roger is more like conservative, you know. I don't know you personally, of course, but I'm just saying, you know, there's a certain level of code and the way you conduct yourself. And I think there's a belief system there that kind of still holds you back. Doesn't allow you to get too aggressive. And I'm not saying be like this freaking wild animal on the court. I'm not saying that. But, you know, there are times when other people get aggressive and stuff like that, and they push you, you know, and you are clearly a better player than them, but their aggression and stuff like that just gets the point. So I think I've discussed this a number of times in my videos, but I think it's just time for you to like look at that and see how can you, again, I think I posed this before, how can you, you know, sort of match aggression, not be set into a timid, like the way this person described, this author described. I'm sorry, I'm like kind of rambling. It was probably not entertaining at all. But, yeah, let's see. There was one real good thing where this guy talks about timidity. Let me just do a search on the word timid. Okay. I said in my Honaskew post that Stakhovsky isn't a bad grass player, but Fed will get it done in straight sets based on his first match. That's the guy saying he was predicting your match before you had it with Stakhovsky. However, I wasn't able to predict that Stakhovsky would zone for almost the entirety of the match, and Roger would play very timidly when it mattered. And don't take that the wrong way. Just take it as really good feedback. you know, because this is not something that, you know, one person is saying. This is something that I've noticed, and it's not to say it in a bad way, you know, and other people notice as well. But we all know that you're not a pushover, you know. We just know. So he's saying that pretty much sums up the match in one sentence. I'll talk about it in a little more depth now that obviously this one hurt me personally, as my whole trip was based on seeing Roger play in Wimbledon. But don't you worry about that. Roger has nothing to do with you. So to say I was pissed off was an understatement. He's not pissed at you. I read the entire article. He's not pissed at you. However, in terms of tough losses, I don't think this one ranks as highly as some of the others. Right. Um, da-da-da-da-da. To be honest, the match is what it is. There's no real secrets as to what went down. It wasn't as though Stakowski invented a new tennis shot out there to bamboozle Fed. He just played the match better of the two players, using the serve and volley tactic to great effect. I don't think Roger played badly at all either. He was pretty solid on serve throughout. It was just a couple of key moments where he wasn't able to find the answers. That's the only real, I think he means only real disappointment, if you're a Federer fan, was how he played the big points. He had some chances to take this one to a fifth set where he would have won, as Stakowski was visibly tired. Now, I didn't see it, but when I read that line, my heart kind of bled like, shit, really? Anyway, would've, could've, should've, you know? Let it go, Janaea. But just couldn't come up with the answers. I think, as usual, it all boils down to confidence and how much you believe in yourself. Right now, Roger doesn't trust his forehand as much as he usually does, and it results in quite timid play. So, yeah, that not trusting yourself, you know, it's been obvious for a long time. But what happens is, again, is that Roger, what I think a lot of us know of you, and what just my personal belief, just based on the way that you talk and the way, you know, you explain things, is that you're a very cerebral person, you know. And trust me, obviously I talk a lot, you know. I happen to be very cerebral myself. I have to be very much so in my head about a lot of things. Sometimes I could cancel out a lot of projects and different things because I've already thought myself out of it over one detail. You know, it's like you're so busy thinking out, the brain just naturally thinks out 12 different thousand possibilities, and then there's this one, and then you go, oh, well, it won't work. But anyway, I feel that, you know, you're cerebral person, and you know, I feel I'm gonna let this video go. I'm gonna let this video go. I think I'm struggling here. Yeah, I'll let this video go. But anyway, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna